Rise and shine and give God the glory, glory. Rise and shine and give God the glory, glory. Rise and shine and give God the glory, glory. It's making it children of the Lord. I remember singing that song in camp when I was a kid. I'm like, these kids today don't make those straight up make that a rap song. You know, boom 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 boom. Give God the glory, glory. Yo, it's a beautiful day out here, man. It's a beautiful day. You know, I usually talk about sports and God and all that stuff, and I like talking about that stuff with you guys. You know, but I was talking to uh, I was just talking to some people, all ages, and one of the, younger folks was like, "Yo, you don't, you got to learn how to talk to, you got to learn how to talk to younger people, like the younger generation, the teens, the millennials, and you got to learn how to talk to them, And I was telling these one people, at the gym, I was like, listen, I'm kind of afraid of the younger generation. And dude was like, nah, ain't no need to being afraid of them. I was like, I'm afraid that I'm, uh, you know, I'm afraid of their lack of disrespect. Like they don't respect nothing. You know what I mean? They fear nothing. They have no, like when they see an older person, they see an opportunity to gavel them, to play the knockout game and kill one of them, which just happened. A guy is a family of five. Some young dude, this guy was like 40, 45, wife, five kids, doing what he's supposed to do. And this guy said, I thought he looked at me wrong. And he just came up blindsided him. Two of them. And just hit this dude. And he hit him so hard, when dude hit the ground, he died immediately. The guy's just minding business, just a random dude. And it was all on tape. It was all on, they didn't know they was being filmed, but it was like at a hotel or something. Dude was at a wedding with his friend, something like that. It just killed him just like that. That's what I mean by I'm afraid of him. Because there's no way that we would have done that when we were kids. This young person was like, yo, you don't know how to talk to me. She's a teenager. She's like, yo, you don't know how to talk to me. And, I went through the same thing with my daughter. You know, I ain't, I ain't understand. And my daughter's 22 now. She'll be 22 in a month. And I recognize that the generation gap between older people and younger people, uh, the misunderstanding that goes on between us is is dangerous because we put it to you like this. You know, it takes a village to raise a child. That's what people say, right? Now, with the concept of a village to raise a child, you're thinking that everybody has an influence on this child. And when this child grows up and respects everybody's influence. They may not want to deal with you all the time, but they still look at you as like, you know what, you taught me something, or you've been here before, so you know better than I do. Uh, Nonetheless, I still need to find my own way. There's nothing wrong with somebody finding their own way once they get into, a certain stage of life. I'm all for that. But the concept of a village to raise a child is no longer perceivable in most situations. Let's just take an example recently with a 14-year-old boy. They were at a party, a pool party, and they were all black kids, just having fun at a pool party. Nothing wrong with it. This white lady rolls up. She's 65. She's got a cane. She comes over there and she was like, I want you guys to turn the music down. That's understandable, people. Like, there is such thing as noise pollution. But when you really look deeper into the situation, this lady's 65 and she's a white woman. Let's just pick that apart before we get to the main issue of what happened. Let's just delve into that right there. 65-year-old white woman. All right, for one, her man ain't with her. There's no guy. She didn't send her son, she didn't send her grandson, she didn't send her husband. She came over. So there's a good chance that there's no male in the picture. You know what I mean? Either her husband's dead and gone or she doesn't have one. Her kids live somewhere else. Regardless, she decided to come over. Okay? Uh, Two, there's 40, 50 black kids there. It's a good chance she was a little bit afraid of them. Three, she's 65. It's a good chance, she grew up in an era where racism was blatant. I mean, if you look 65 years ago, they were still hanging people wide open. Okay? 4,000 people got hung by the Ku Klux Klan. 1,000 of them were white people. Over 3,000 of them, it was over 4,000, but over 3,000 of them were black people. She grew up during this time watching this. Okay? The civil rights movement, LA riots, Chicago fires. She grew up looking at all that racism. All right? So regardless if she's racist or not, it's still in her that there is a bridge. There is a wall between colors. That some people still put up. Some people are still defensive when they see other people of other colors. And once it gets inside of you, it's almost innate. I ain't saying a lady was racist. I'm saying that her perception of black people could be skewed simply because of how she grew up. I'm not even saying she was wrong. I'm just saying that there could have been a lot more going on inside of that woman to make her go, you know what, this music is too loud, when the music might not have been too loud. You know what I'm saying? She just might have been like, you know what, I'm gonna go over here and say something to the when it might not have even been necessary. And I'm not saying she's at fault. I'm just saying there's cultural differences within certain times. 20 years ago, 30 years ago, 40, 50, 60 years ago, there were big time cultural differences leading all the way up to the moment where she got involved with these young men that we have to think about. I'm not saying she's at fault because she's definitely not at fault. So nobody get on here and start saying, "Oh, you're saying she's at fault." No, I'm not saying she's at fault. Not even close to that. And if the music was too loud, she has every right to ask somebody to turn the music down. I'm not necessarily sure if she should have asked those children. However, I wasn't there. Okay, so the situation goes from bad to worse, where she starts talking to a bunch of kids. She wasn't yelling, she wasn't flailing her arms, she didn't call them out their names. And they are laughing, the majority of them, and one of the kids decides to throw her in the pool. Now, he picks the woman up and he slips because it's always slippery around the pool. That's why they tell you don't run. And he slips and the woman hits the ground just like he did. Boom, he recovers. He picks the woman up still after this incident. After this woman, you just slam this 65-year-old woman to the ground. Even though it was an accident, you still try to pick her up on purpose. And then he throws her in the pool. He doesn't even know if she can swim. It doesn't take much to drown people. It really doesn't. You don't know if this lady could swim or not. She came in there with a walking stick, you know? So he's facing charges just for the fact that she's 65. You know, assault charge. He's facing some serious charges, and you know what? I'm all about that. However, I'm all about a second chance too. I don't think the boy meant to slam the woman to the ground. And I don't think he belongs in federal prison for some crazy amount of time. I believe he belongs in some type of reform atmosphere where he could get somebody, he and all of the kids around him can get some respect. See, that's what I'm saying. You know, when a young lady told me, she said, "You don't know how to talk to me," and then I was thinking about me, the difference between me and my daughter has gone through it, and you know, and she don't want to talk to me, and then and I've ran into other younger people who automatically they're offended by just the stupidest things, and they just have no like they don't respect anybody. Can't nobody tell me what to do. I'm, I'm however age I am, but all this independence, they get this all from this crazy music that they listen to. You know, be your own. Don't let nobody tell you what to do. No, this is what, when you act like that, and you don't want to listen to nobody. Situations like this happen where this boy, now he's facing federal charges. He's gonna be in a federal prison with adults, with adult men who, because you have no love for your elders, they're not going to have no love for you. You're trapped with them at 14. You, you're trapped with the same people that you don't want to show any respect for. What do you think is going to happen to you? There's not a whole gang of friends you can call on now. It's you and a grown-ass man. Who's going to win? You know what I'm saying? How quickly the tables turn. Just because you had no respect, like none whatsoever. You out here playing a knockout game. You out here slapping people just in running. And I think the worst thing we did was ding dong ditch. Oh my God. I think that's the worst thing I ever did. I don't even know if I did that. Knock on somebody's door and run. Thought it was funny. I respected my elders. I still do. Even when I didn't like them. When I didn't like my elders, I just cop an attitude and I roll out. Even as a kid, I don't like you. And they knew I ain't like them. But I respected them always. Um, Even in the schools, the kids are fighting the teachers. 14, 15-year-old kids. This one 14-year-old girl told a teacher, she said, maybe your husband isn't doing what he's supposed to in the bedroom. Lord God, help me. that teacher, that teacher rolled up on that kid so quick. She got in her face. Don't you talk about my husband. You see so many incidents. And listen, this isn't just, black kids. This is the younger generation across the board, because you see white kids fighting white teachers. We all know how white kids get down when they really get mad at a teacher. They come and blow up the whole school. Everybody's going down for nothing. I don't even know you. Bang. They capping everyone. When white kids get mad, they kill everything. Dog, cat, they notorious for that. Black kids, they just want to beat up that teacher. But the point is that, when a young lady said that to me, you don't know how to talk to me. You know, and when, I heard this from a few different people, from 30 on down. This is not just one incident. This is a communication gap because I'm 50. So I'm thinking, you're 30. I should know how to, communicate with you. You're an adult. You're in an adult situation. Okay. But even then, you still have issues communicating with men and women of that age because it's a generation gap. It's 20 years. And then when you go below that, it's, into the, 25s and, 21s, there's a generation gap there. When you look at the kids in your family, like my brother said, he was, he was talking about, he's raising my nieces. And my nieces are teenagers. He said, them kids ain't thinking about us. My brother, he isn't feeling well. And I'm going out to see him. I was like, I'm gonna come see you and the kids. He's like, them kids ain't thinking about us. And just when I was younger and one of the older people in my family was sick, we converged on that family member like like the tribe of Judah. Like we was like, who's sick? we, oh heck nah. You had family members coming from everywhere. Now you're on your own. You know what I'm saying? Your cousin, your uncles or your aunts was sick. You got on the bus and you went to see them. If they're in town, you could. It was a teenager, man. We came to see you. What's wrong with you? We're not having that. My dad, my dad got sick last weekend, and I went to see him. I got a text from my sister. Daddy's sick. He's in bad shape. He lives 9 hours from me, one way. I jumped in my raggedy truck and I pushed that damn truck to the limit because I thought he was gonna die. I made an 8.5 hour trip. I drove 5 hours before I couldn't take it anymore. I left in the middle of the night till I just couldn't stay awake anymore. It got dangerous. And I had to pull over at a McDonald's and sleep in the parking lot. I woke up again and I hit it and I was there in the morning. Pops, what's cracking? My older sister drove from Texas. My other sister drove from Atlanta. He lives in Memphis, Tennessee. I live in Ohio. Listen, even if you had differences between elders or people, older people, there's still a respect that should be had. And, these younger people are right. I don't know how to talk to them. I don't. So I stopped. It's not always the answer, but I just said maybe I need to take a step back. Some people, they're around you constantly. Some people you see every now and then. But maybe, here's what I think. I think that we should never stop learning about each other. That's what I think. I think that it's okay to take a step back when you think that you're doing something wrong or when they tell you you're doing this all wrong. You know, Young man, he got smart with me and he's going to UDF. I told him to pull his pants up. I said, pull your pants up before somebody comes to snatch you. He was like, but I got hands. This kid might be 10, him and his little friend, 10, 11. He said he got hands and was staring me down. I'm 6'2". This kid is like not even 4 feet. And was staring me down like he was about to beat me up. I just walked away. I said, okay. I don't have no issue with you, young man. I'm just telling you that it's crazy in these streets. You walk around with your, underwear showing is not wise. You know, on any level. It looks crazy on every single level. I was just trying to show him that you looking undignified. But his immediate reaction wasn't, thank you, sir. Which is what I would have said when I was a kid. I'd have been like, thank you. His immediate reaction was to get mad at me. I got hands. As if he was about to put hands on me. And truthfully, if I would have said anything else to him, he would have tried. I'm not out here fighting 10-year-olds. I got a bad back, bad knees. I can't keep up with none of y'all. I'm not even interested. But it taught me something. Keep your mouth shut when it comes to these kids. Don't give them good advice. You know what I'm saying? Not everybody wants to hear your wisdom. So now I'm kind of like timid when it comes to speaking to some of these kids because anything can set them off. I'm not so much afraid of the children, of these kids. I'm not afraid of them. I'm just like, I don't know how to communicate with them. If I see them doing something wrong, you're almost afraid to give them instruction. I remember this kid was walking across the street. This kid couldn't have been no older than 11. And I'm driving my truck and he's walking across the street. No, he was a teenager. He's like 14. And he kept looking back at me as if I was wrong. And he's in the middle of the street. And he was looking at me like, what are you going to do about it? And I said, you know what, young lady, you're right. I don't know how to communicate with you guys. I don't know. I tried. I'm not giving up. I'm just saying the staunch reality that her words has rang true through, for the last 10 years now. I'm thinking about it. She's right. And he's right. This is more than one person who's pretty much said this to me in one way or another. And more than one age. These are not just teenagers or preteens. These are adults, 20, 25. And it doesn't happen with all of them. Because I've met some people in their 20s who communicate very well with people who are older, but this one young lady had nothing but respect. She was so respectful, it scared me. I was like, what are you doing? When I go in and talk business with somebody, she would take a step back. I was like, what are you doing? She was like, hey, that's between you and them. I was like, okay. We're talking business at a Walmart or whatever. It's not really a big deal. But nonetheless, that was her respect level. So it's not everyone. My neighbor's kids, these little kids over here, these little boys over here, these kids got more mad respect than adults. They're, hello, sir, how you doing? They don't smart mouth. They come over here and play in the yard and whatever and ask me for advice on stuff. They came over here and wanting to know about the Bible. I had to go and get the Bible and start reading these to these kids, and we out here 9, 10 o'clock at night. It was dark, and their mom sitting over there listening, and we out here talking about the Bible like that. That's what's up. We all out here in the book of Ezekiel getting it. Did my heart some good that day. Like I said, it ain't everybody, but for the majority of the, influences, the incidents that I'm having, I don't know how to talk to these people. And I think, and it's obvious that it's not just me. This is pandemic. I'm not quite sure on what to do, but I just wanted to put that out there. Lord said to Noah, gonna build an arky. Yeah. Children of the Lord. That song will never leave me. Good old camp. Good old camp. It's your boy Tone 202.